Well, now one of the big stories we're tracking, the charges against Indian diplomat Devyani Khobragade have been dismissed in New York. Joining us on the phone line now is her lawyer, Daniel Arshak. Thank you for speaking.
No comments. Sorry, no comments.
Well, we're just trying to connect with Devyani's lawyer. But the visa fraud case against Devyani Khobragade has been dismissed. That was revealed on Wednesday by the U.S. judge who was looking into the case. However, the Manhattan prosecutor's office, the office of Preet Bharara, has released a statement saying they plan to pursue another case of indictment. Well, joining us on the phone line now is lawyer Daniel Arshak. Thank you for speaking to NDTV. Can you tell us a bit more about why the charges were dismissed? Is it on a technicality?
Well, it's not a technicality at all. The charges were dismissed because the law requires them to be dismissed. As we have been saying, the charges had to be dismissed. Dr. Khobragade had diplomatic.
Right, the charges dismissed as Devyani had diplomatic immunity. However, Preet Bharara seems convinced that the charges of visa fraud and of mistreating her maid do exist, and they plan to pursue the case and file another indictment.
Preet Bharara is free to file any indictment that he's inclined to file. As we know, the United States Attorney's Office is able to get an indictment against anybody anytime they want to. That's not to say that doing so is the appropriate thing to do or an appropriate expenditure of the U.S. taxpayers' money. The fact is, in this case, that there are not facts to support the claims against Dr. Khobragade, and the fact is that the U.S. Attorney's Office knows that even if they do bring a new indictment, there will never be a trial. So the only reason they would do that at this point is to flex their muscle, and that's not an appropriate use of taxpayers' money.
All right. Also, this entire case, of course, sparked ill will between India and the United States, as India was upset over the treatment of its diplomat. Do you think if the Manhattan attorney, the prosecutor, continues to push these charges, it would be aggressive and unnecessary? That's the statement that you gave us.
Well, I think it would be an extraordinarily aggressive move. The fact is that at the moment, there's the opportunity for the tension between India and the United States to be completely relieved. And it would only be an exercise in aggressive acceleration of that tension for the U.S. attorney for no reason, because he knows there will never be a trial, for no reason to reinstitute those charges.
All right, and you've spoken to Devyani. What was her first reaction to the charges being dropped?
Well, she's relieved that the rule of law has prevailed. She's always known that the law requires the case to be dismissed, and she's gratified that the court system followed the law and did exactly what the law required. And let's be clear, there was no political meddling in the decision of the court to generate the order that was issued dismissing the case. This was a decision by the court, having reviewed the facts and having applied the law to those facts.
All right, Daniel Arshak, thank you so much for speaking to us. That was the lawyer of Indian diplomat Devyani Khobragade.